Welcome to the Quick Stop F1 podcast. My name is Nyasha and you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. We appreciate that. Joining me as ever is my co-host and co-founder. It's the most moisturized F1 content creator in the world and a staunch Lando Norris advocator. You heard her on the previous podcast. She came in and she had points to make, and points were made. Okay? Welcome to the show. Thandie Savannah!
Hi, cool.
No cheering. There it is. There it is. Cheering's there. How's it going?
Great, thanks. How's it going on your side?
Absolutely span dabby dobo. I can't even express into words. I was just saying to Tasha off camera, this was by far the funniest F1 race I think I've ever seen in my life. Just people getting cursed out at work, people being ignored on the radio, Max just retreating into old Max. Oh man, this is F1 heritage. Quickly, Thandie, did you enjoy it?
I loved it. I loved hearing Max's radio cries. Who doesn't love hearing Max's radio cries?
Oh man, it is box office stuff. Speaking of box office, I was just with her the other day. Here she is again. We just can't get rid of this Nepo baby, right? But we love her all the same. Welcome back. It's the one, the only, the fabulous Tasha James. How's it going?
It's going. It's great. I feel like I'm sleeping with my podcast equipment at this point. You know what I mean? Close my eyes, wake up, podcast. Go to sleep, wake up, podcast. So
yeah, no, we are working it to the bone. I'm not gonna lie.
Club.
Another club.
Another pod. Sleep.
Tasha, did you enjoy? How did you find the Hungarian Grand Prix?
Oh my God, I'm so glad I stayed awake. I thought it wasn't that it was boring. I was just really tired, and it really was like, I'm gonna take a little nap and wake up toward the end. And I'm so glad I fought my sleep, because just like you, I was cackling this whole race. Everything was funny. Everything was funny. I just could not stop laughing. Max cussing everybody out. Lando, them begging and pleading for him to think of the kids. He was not having it. So yeah, I should not have been laughing, but I couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah. It's crazy, isn't it?
5 stars. Yeah.
They tried absolutely everything, and you could just hear it in his engineer's voice. It was just what can I say to this guy? He was think of the meetings. But
you can't win a championship on your own. There's no Iron Team, Lando.
The fuck out of here. Respectfully. Well, look, we're going to get into all of that in what was an incredibly entertaining Hungarian Grand Prix. But before that, thank you to everyone who is tuning in. We've got so many new subscribers, so many new viewers, so many new people commenting underneath. We love that. Please keep that going. If you're watching, give us a like and a subscribe. Really helps push us to even more people on the road to 5,000. I think we can get to 5,000 quite soon.
Yeah.
And we can only do that with your support. So please keep smashing that subscribe button. If you're listening on Spotify, give us a 5-star review. If you're listening on Apple, leave us a review, and obviously there's a Patreon for the ad-free stream. So, Thandie, I guess before we get to Max, before we get to Lando, I think there's one person who deserves all of the praise and he deserves for us to discuss his day the way it should be discussed, and that is one Oscar Piastri, who in his second season in F1 has recorded his first win. You know, gunshot for Oscar. Don't piss me off, bruv. Huh? Do you know what I mean? He deserves all of that. Congratulations to Oscar Piastri. I know that you are a fan of Oscar Piastri. I know that you like the kid. I guess, how big of a deal is it that he's finally got his first win, and how do you feel about that?
I love that little Australian man. Really happy for Oscar. Really happy for Oscar. I think what we saw at Silverstone was obviously him kind of being quite screwed over in the plan by McLaren, and then to kind of see him kind of put his shoulders out a bit and, you know, stand up for himself in this race was quite nice to see. Was really, really hoping for an Oscar win the whole time. You know, if I'm being very honest, if I'm not rooting for Lewis, I'm rooting for Oscar. Surprise, surprise. And yeah, I'm really happy for him. Really happy for it. Yeah. Shout out Piastri, man.
Shout out Piastri. Shout out Piastri's mum, who tweeted that she will not be attending her 6 a.m. Pilates class with a photo that looked like it was taken with a BlackBerry mobile phone. I don't know.
I love
why it's so grainy.
Not too much on the BlackBerry.
Looks like she's taking it on a Motorola Razr. I don't understand.
Wait. Not too much on Oscar's mum. Not too much.
My babe was, no, pick up Oscar's mum. Tasha, an incredible day for Oscar Piastri, and probably I guess a great day for Zach Brown as well. You know, and the McLaren family who really poached him from under the noses of Alpine to form this partnership with Lando Norris, and you can see that Lando's being pushed by Oscar a lot more than he would have been by Daniel Ricciardo. But I guess for you today, we have to talk about it, and that is, Thandie alluded to it, the Silverstone screwing over with the strategy. Today, they essentially have a position. Oscar gets off the line. He's first round of pit stops go okay. He's back home first. Second round of pit stops, McLaren overly cautious, I think, in trying to cover off a Lewis Hamilton who's already complaining about his tyres.
Right.
But they pit Lando Norris first, 2 seconds behind. It was clear that he was going to come out in front, and then after that, they was going to have to manage it. Be honest. Did you think that Lando Norris was going to give that place back?
Absolutely not. I was so sure he was not going to give that place back. I think the pleading eventually got to him, think of the team, we want to, Oscar always supports you type of thing, so I just felt like eventually it got through. Lando had me cackling. He was like, well, then tell him to catch up, he wants to take this place back, So, but yeah, I really wasn't confident that he was going to give it back. And like we talked about yesterday on the show for the post-quali, we kind of mentioned how Oscar tends to always get screwed over by McLaren. So even that felt par for the course. Like Lando undercutting Oscar felt like the same old for McLaren. So yeah, I was fully prepared to riot at the end because I felt bad for Oscar. He got an amazing start. He really did well in the race. And to have it go against him at the end just felt wrong. So I'm glad that they figured it out.
Yeah, honestly, it was so funny to hear those radio calls. They went through the full repertoire of things to say to someone. It was almost like hostage negotiation 101. At first they were just like, Lando led the place well, and then it was like, appeal to his ego. You can't win a championship on your own. It's like appeal to his conscience. Like, Lando, think of the morning meetings. What are we gonna do? Oh my god.
Crazy.
It's the fact that he didn't say anything.
He didn't even answer. I was gonna say, even the fact that he didn't even answer the first, when they were like, "Oh, give him the place back," he just went radio silent. Didn't even
I think it was them. 9-10 laps. He did not answer them. They're like, Lando, radio check. Oh yeah, I can hear you. Thandie, I'll ask you a question. I was watching Ted's notebook, and Ted made a point that potentially Lando Norris, of all the things that were going through his head, and obviously, the championship is one of them. 2, he's only got 1 race win. he's hungry for race wins still. He doesn't know how long this car can be good for. But part of why he may have not wanted to swap around is because I think he was asked a question earlier this weekend, like, do you think you're too nice to be a world champion? You know, you're always kind of making jokes, you're being self-deprecating. I think this is something that we've spoken about on this show, about that sportsman mentality, that arrogance, that self-confidence needed to be at the very top. And Ted said that maybe he was trying to assert himself and potentially trying to give out an image, you know, that he is ruthless and he can be cutthroat. We don't know what it is, but I guess if you had to, you know, you're a very perceptive person, you're able to read social situations, you're able to almost predict things like no one else. How would you, I guess, if you're inside the mind of Lando Norris, why do you think, what do you put it down to? His stubbornness, I guess, in not allowing Oscar to come through. And do you agree with him? You're on mute.
I think it's the weeks that have led up to today, to be honest, guys. You look at it as Lando gets his first win. He's gassed up. He proves a whole bunch of people wrong. There's now articles written about him and pitting him as like something that he's actually not. Now, we do know already that Lando is not the brightest bulb in the tanning salon. Yeah. And then you have the Silverstone win, which was a big loss for him, obviously. And you brought Lewis Hamilton into it. And you know what? I'll be very honest. Lando has got this thing about Lewis. He needs to sort that out because that's got nothing to do with me. Okay? That's got nothing to do with me. So, you know, bring in Lando's ego, bring in Lando's very fragile masculinity within this sport. And you have a vicious person. I think it's very funny that he ignored them for that many laps. I think it's absolutely hilarious. And you know what? Okay, because a few of you had a few loaded tweets for me. Let me address that, right? It felt really like personal with some of you guys because it was like an alarm on my phone. All of a sudden, like the phone just started going off. It's a bit rude. You know, like bold of you guys to think that I'm a good woman because I'm not a good woman and neither is Lando Norris. That's why birds of a feather, we flock together, right?
Y'all locked in.
I mean, we're locked in. Sorry, let me just pick this. It's stuck in my head. 2 secs.
So it's two stupid bitches saying exactly.
So on that front, yeah, Lando's an asshole. It was well obvious, man. And it's like you man are coming to me in the DMs like, please, like Nicki, like you guys are pleading with me like I'm Nicki Minaj and he's Kenneth Petty and you want me to break up with him, bro. Like, allow it. Don't come to me telling me about the devil that I hang out with because I've been knowing, okay? But obviously, then again, we saw that clip of him in Lewis, and you know I'll always back my first boyfriend first. So there's that, yeah? But yeah, Lando's actions today were not acceptable. But boy, were they funny. Look at you all kikiing.
Yeah.
He's brought you the laughter that he needed. He's funny, okay? I love a villain.
Yeah, he brought the levity.
Yeah.
He's a villain, but he's a villain like Mr. Bean was a villain. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, he's an inconvenience to those around him.
Right. He's just an inconvenience.
And an asshole.
Vogue UK are like gassing him up. Do you know what I mean? Like...
Do you not agree with Vogue's assessment?
Team LH. The problem with Team LH is you guys want to pounce on me. You guys want to pounce on me when there's a real issue here, which is all kinds of things like Max Verstappen's radio and other things. You guys just want to pounce on me. Like,
right.
Why are you, brothers and sisters, why are we fighting? We're supposed to be brothers and sisters in this. Niggas had like freaking tweets that you could tell that they'd loaded on me. Try to cancel me. You guys are mad. Absolute madness. Anyway, continue the pod.
She said, what happened to Still We Rise?
That's rising.
Right.
We were supposed to rise, guys.
Rise up together.
But do you know what? Yeah. Do you know what? Yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of everyone who told me about Lando's personality and how he just to wait until he does something wrong that's going to piss you off, you were right. And I admit it.
There you go.
I was wrong.
And honestly, that's wow. That is probably
that's the
biggest.
Thank you. It's called growth. It's growth.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen you say that before. Wow, look at you, big woman.
Well, he set me up at the start of the pod, so what else was I going to do? Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah. I don't know if you recall how you were after that first win. So I just think that was a slight get back. I'm not going to say anymore, but just a little one.
Touche.
So look, oh god, that was hilarious. So I think, look. The issue for Lando is he does not know if this is his best chance of winning the title. He's now, I think, 76 points behind Max, which is 3 whole race wins and the fastest lap that he needs to claw back. And I think if it goes, I think if it goes first, second, I think he just about wins the title if, in that case. So they obviously still need more bad luck. And of course, if McLaren, if Mercedes do what they do, then Mercedes will do what they do. I guess what worries me about McLaren is, and I don't know if you guys feel this sentiment as well, I was surprised Seidel didn't come on the radio the same way Toto Wolff would come on the radio, the same way Christian Horner may come on the radio. I just say, like, Lando, enough, swap these cars now. I feel like it went on for so long, and maybe there's power in letting Lando get to that decision himself, so that it kind of, it shows that whilst he did consider not doing it, he came to that decision himself, and that's more powerful than, for Oscar seeing that than someone forcing Lando to do that. But nevertheless, it created drama. And I think it also put a bit of a dampener on Oscar's first win.
It really did.
A little bit, right? Tasha?
But no, not
radio
even.
Was so down.
No? Not even.
You don't think?
You don't think?
I think
I'll say
it was...
after you.
Go on.
No, after you, honestly.
I think, I was just going to say, I don't think it dampened his race win per se. I'd say it's definitely given, if I was Oscar right now, I would up my security team because Lando's a madman. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, do you know what I mean? It's been a learning lesson for Piastri. And if it is the thought process that I mentioned earlier, where it was like, they screwed you over at Silverstone, so now you know how the team are moving, then he's smarter than we think. And he's already onto it. It takes some people several races, several seasons to clock that their own team are in favor of another person or their team member is a snake. So if he has done what I think he's done, touche to Piastri.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. No, that is true. I think he would have learned a lot today. I think he would have learned a lot. But also, I think there's power in the resolution. I guess what I would also say is Oscar Piastri is probably the most level-headed person emotionally. Like, I don't think I've heard Oscar swear on the radio, shout on the radio. I've not heard him be animated. It's very much like a very one track, one emotional kind of thing. And, so I think where we may be confused with like the win being, we've just come from Lewis Hamilton winning his 104th race, and we've got tears, we've got running around the paddock, we've got, this flood of emotion coming from everywhere. And then we've got Oscar, and it's like he's literally just Really good. Yeah, won my first race. Been waiting for that.
Yeah.
Awesome. It's like you brought him a cup of tea, and he's just like,
Right.
thanks. Really needed that.
What a good kid.
What a great kid. What a great kid. So I think for me, I think it's a bit of both, but I think it nearly overshadows the win, because I think people are talking about that. They're, when they're going to Andrea Steidl, they're talking about that. When they're going to Oscar, going to Lando, they're talking about, was the Willy Woney? And I guess your thoughts on that.
Yeah, that was kind of my takeaway from it. Oscar, I wouldn't say he sounded deflated. I think, like you mentioned, he just has like this very like even tone to his voice. But he did mention something like, sorry that, like he kind of apologized for the situation, like, that they had to swap around. So like for me, I felt like you won, take it, celebrate it. You don't have to apologize for what happened, because I actually don't think it really was on Lando or Oscar for that matter. It was really McLaren strategy team, like truly fucked it for both of them. And, I talked about on Twitter, I was mentioning, even Lando's win being overshadowed a little bit by the guest that McLaren had hosted for the weekend. It's just like, you guys have had such a drought of race wins. And now that you're finally at the forefront, you're finally getting them. It always is starting to now feel like something overshadows it. And in this case today, it was the strategy and the pleading with Lando to, kind of follow the team order. So that's kind of my takeaway. I feel like maybe Oscar, is going to celebrate in his own way. But like as a fan, I just feel like watching it unfold and seeing this pattern sort of start to emerge, it's just a little bit like troubling, because you guys are working really hard to get this car back to a winning condition, and you guys they should be celebrating these wins. Like it is hard won, so yeah, they need to be celebrating a little bit better.
No doubt. Well, look, congratulations to Oscar Piastri, an incredible performance. I think it's not. Oh yeah, you know what? He can get the good claps as well. Congratulations to Oscar Piastri. Well done. You know what?
It's crazy. Like Tasha just said, pleading. Like, this man's a terrorist. Like, please. Like, it is actually like a hostage situation. Like, think about the children. Please don't do this. Please let them go. Think about the
break up a happy home,
bro. Man was pleading like divorce court. Crazy.
I think I was like, again, it's like, there's girls who try to stop their boyfriend fighting. Like, it's not like you. You're not like this.
He's not like that. He's not like this. Start not calling him by his full name.
Oh,
this isn't good.
I know better than this. Like,
I know him more.
Maybe not.
Trust me, I'll talk to him. He listens to me.
That's what you quick stop people said I was on. Don't you try me. I'll block you as fast as I can.
Oh my God. Look, you think you had it bad? I spent the best part of Tuesday morning reading tweet after
people didn't even check. People didn't check. They didn't watch.
Guys,
they saw the thumbnail and was like, no.
Guys, okay. Like, you've got to just let me. Let us make the content, okay? Give the content a chance, right? Like, don't judge me or judge the channel of titles and thumbnails. Newsflash! We're fucking YouTubers. The titles will be sensationalist. The thumbnails will be clickbait, okay? I'm sorry, we're trying to get viewers. But just like, listen to what I had to say. People, some of the things I was reading on Tuesday, I was like, we just gone on this journey together for 3 years. Right. Why are you turning on me like this?
Turning on you now.
They'll turn on you so quick.
Anyway, they'll turn on you like that. Unreal.
Next day you're out.
Anyway, thank you for the support, guys. If you're listening this far, like, subscribe to the channel. Housekeeping. Got a few items on the agenda. Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton. Let's just talk about Max Verstappen for a little bit. It's been a while. For those of you who are new, we started this podcast in 2021, yeah? Lightning in a bottle. You could not have had a better combination of this podcast and the 2021 season, especially us raw into podcasting, not really knowing what you can say, what you can't
Y'all
say.
Y'all just saying anything.
Like, we were going.
We really were, Nyash.
And I loved it, yeah.
We were saying anything, yeah.
Like, you think we're bad now? 3 years ago. We're jaded now.
Last year, I mean, it's toned down to fuck.
That first year. So let me tell you now, like, we haven't been able to get a good Max Verstappen hate pod off for like 3 fucking years because we were shit. So it wasn't even like we've not been able to really get this shit off. But today,
Avengers
and these radio messages, like,
let's go.
God.
She's like, Wakanda first.
Oh, those radio messages. There was one point. There was one point where I think we're talking about off air, like we were talking about the radio messages, and Max was like, "Oh, I was ahead of the corner," and then his he pushed me out wide, and then his engineer's like, "I believe he was ahead of the apex, Max." And Max is like, "Whatever, man."
Whatever, man. Whatever, man.
Oh my God!
Max was he is.
That was GP getting his lick back from earlier, getting cussed out all race.
New one.
I'm back right now in this moment.
New one about Max Verstappen.
Thandie.
I watched Shrek live yesterday. And he actually, do you know when I was listening to the radio today, I was like, this guy, I was doing like impersonations of him, and I was like, you actually sound like the 3 little pigs from Shrek. You huffed and he puffed and he sounded eviction notice. It sounds like him, right?
It does.
A little bit, yeah.
That's all you hear. He huffed and he puffed and he signed an eviction notice. Like, please, bro. I'm not supposed to see you seriously. Please.
Oh my God. It's so funny.
Yeah,
God.
Irritated.
When but the first one, when he went off at them, like, and he was like, the thing is, yeah, this has been brewing, yeah. These two like to act like, oh, we're just best friends. You know them couples, yeah, that every time you see them, they're just fucking arguing with each other, but they're trying to act like they're joking, and they're trying to act like it's their little shtick, but they're making everyone fucking nervous.
Uncomfortable.
Like, that is them two. And when he was like, he's like, you've gone gentle on those tires. And he was like, I'm trying to make this fucking strategy work because you don't fucking piss me off.
He's like, I guess I'll just fucking do everything myself.
Yeah, he's like, he's looking for support, but he's not getting it from no one.
Right. He's not getting. His engineer's sick of his shit. His engineer's putting in a tribunal tomorrow for harassment at work, bro. Like, that is, imagine being spoken to like that at work. Like, no, wait, what?
And then everybody in the world gets to hear and see at the same time.
And hear you being abused.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
Oh my
Madness.
God. I guess Thandie, yeah, that must have brought the feeling back, listening to those messages.
The feeling back, like, brought back Shrek.
Just No, I mean maybe, but I guess you know what? It's interesting. Obviously, I would implore everyone to listen to last week's episode of the podcast because, ironically enough, it was about Max versus Lewis, and I guess a lot of it was just about Max and how do you rank Max as a driver. And Cameron, for what it's worth, was putting forward very good arguments about one lap speed and just how great he is and consistent he is and whatever. And I think my problem was that I don't think Max has matured, and when the lights are bright, he doesn't seem to get any better at handling his emotions. Right. And when he doesn't handle his emotions, he seems to get in contact with other people. And I guess it's ironic that then happened the next race. But I guess my question is, to me, it just felt like 2021 again, watching Lewis and Max go at it. And to be honest, it was nice to see Lewis on the defensive side and maybe breaking a bit, in the braking zone, moving in the braking zone, some of that desperate defense. But you must have enjoyed the Max versus Lewis battle and the radio and everything. It was very entertaining.
Even like the post-race interview with Lewis being told that Max is blaming him and his little smirk. TV gold, mate. Stuff that gets me off. Of course he does, yeah. Trust me.
That was the funniest face.
It's sexy shit. Let's talk about the incident. So, obviously, just before this, I think this is where Max had tried to go round the outside of Lewis, and Lewis had, he said, that's the one. Yeah, Max has been like, he's not giving me room around the outside. And then that's when his engineer was like, well, you weren't ahead at the apex. And he's gone, whatever, man. And then the very next lap, he has sent a dive bomb down the inside. I mean, you could see it coming. We all saw it coming. Very reminiscent of Spain 2021, Imola 2021, Abu Dhabi 2021. I'm trying to think of other dive bombs that I can remember from Max. So many. But obviously, he's locked his two front tires. Instead of turning right into the corner, he's gone into Lewis. Lewis is already kind of turning into the corner.
Right.
If I'm being honest, I did expect Lewis to kind of move his tires to be like, oh, what's going on here? But he didn't.
Same. And I think I'm glad you said that. Yeah. Because, accountability lives here.
Yeah.
Accountability lives here.
Like, I did expect Lewis to try and avoid it. And look, the stewards did say the same. We'll get to that. But he didn't have to. And this is what I mean. He didn't have to. But Lewis is definitely in that mindset of, I'm not yielding. And if we both go, then we're both going. But I'm not yielding.
Right.
Max goes over Lewis's tyre in what I can only describe as a softcore version of their Monza accident, and luckily, he doesn't go on top of Lewis's head, and he rolls off, and they both were able to continue in the race. Tasha, the stewards have deemed that it's not didn't need any further action. Were you surprised by that? I guess as Thandie said, Max has kind of said that he almost had to take avoiding action because Lewis turned into the corner. Lewis, obviously, for his part, said it was a racing incident and that, he did turn in. But if Max was under control, then he would have got past him. And I think that, it's very pointed use of under control. Like Max was not in control of his vehicle, especially with two front locked tires. So I guess your view on the incident, where do you, where would, you're the steward, where would you apportion blame, or would you apportion blame?
Well, has my check cleared? Because that's going to determine how I rule this. Because
I just understood that.
The check cleared. Yeah. I mean, honestly, at this point, I watched it and I was just like, of course. I was just like, frickin' frack are back at it again. This is the second time in the race that they're, battling it out. And then when they hit each other, I was just, it almost felt surreal because I was like you said, 2021, I felt transported like that, Raven Simone, like I'm seeing into the future, but it's
That's
like
so
really like already
Raven.
happened already, Yeah, that's so Raven. That's what it felt like. Like, am I having a flashback? Is this real? So yeah, I was just like same old. But in terms of like how they judged it based off of how they always judge Verstappen's incidents on track, like it's par for course. Like, even in the document they said like, there's really nothing Lewis could have done differently, but also he could have tried to avoid it. And it's just like, how are we always constantly making it the driver's fault who has nothing to do with Max's decision? Like Max chooses to do these things, and then everybody else's job is to avoid the collision. So I don't know. It just felt like another day that ends in Y, basically, in terms of Max and his racing incidents, to be honest. Yeah. You're muted.
Nyasha, you're muted. Come on.
Chucks, thank you. I was surprised that the thing is, this is my issue with the FIA. The FIA police things dependent on damage and what happens to the other person. And I think if, for example, Lewis Hamilton loses third place, then they're going to take 10 seconds out of Max, 100%. Right. And it's, I'm pretty sure Max got a penalty for the Lando Norris thing, right? And
yeah,
I think he did, right? He must have. I think he did. He got 10 seconds, didn't he?
Oh, 10 seconds. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was 10 seconds penalty. Verstappen. Chris, can you just search that out for me quickly? So yeah, I think he was proportioned, but I think they said they were going. They should have given him a penalty for this braking, moving under braking as well. So, but I guess they gave that to him because they both kind of jeopardized their races. If and there was less contact there than there was for between him and Lewis. Big bumping of tires. He's gone into the air. He's gone off. Luckily Lewis has been able to keep third place, but he's locked both his tires. He's gone into another car. He's endangered another driver. He could have gone anywhere. We've seen, like I said, obviously it was because of the sausage curbs in Monza, but when you're climbing tires, you really can go anywhere. And I've seen turn one incidents which were less than that be punished with a 5-second penalty at least. For there to be no, I can understand the reasoning, but for there to be no further action. And again, this goes back to the point, Cam was making last week, don't hate the player, hate the game. It's so hard to respect someone who it feels like more often than not has the FIA in his pocket for one reason or another. And it's because there's such a lack of consistency in how they deal with these incidents. And he always, I know, look, again, he did get punished for Austria, so I'm not saying it never happens, but more often than not, it does feel that he lands on the side of leniency. And it's just, I can't respect that. I can't respect the driver. We've not even got into the fact that was ridiculous, okay? Like, I'm sorry. That was amateur hour driving. He's a 3-time world champion. He's been in the sport now for 9 years. This is a 25, 26-year-old with nearly 10 years experience in F1. He should not be doing that. It's fucking really messy, and the lack of accountability afterwards is just so, like, it's hilarious because it's Max, but it's just so boring. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Thandie,
I feel the same way.
Yeah, I think, right. I don't know. Thandie, do you feel? Do you have any differing opinions? I guess to that.
You're muted, Thandie.
Really?
Come on now.
I think we're playing with this right now. I don't know what's going on with the text up in here. No, I definitely feel the same about Max. I feel like we've seen this move that he does. He does this thing where he believes he'll always have the right of way. That is such a weird complex to have in a race of how many drivers? 20-something?
20 drivers.
20. Yeah, 20. That's such a weird complex to have, whether you're the world champion or not. Do you know what I mean? I think that's so odd. So having that mentality that everyone should just give you right of way, right of passage, or that when you say it's go time, it has to be go time. And when it's not go time, it's not go time. I think he's a little bitch. I think that's what it is. You can't give a man that much. You know what I mean? Like somebody has taken Amazon spray paint, sprayed and told him he's gold. He's gold, he's golden, he's golden. And you've convinced the man that he's golden, but he's still a bitch. And that's the problem. And that's why we don't celebrate him. No one knows a bitch more than I do.
What?
A bitch, bro.
Oh my God. Yeah. I can't. I mean, he was real, like, he was just, his lack of temperament is so funny, bruv. Like, he is like someone in, oh my God, isn't his name Mad Max? In Wolf of Wall Street, Leonardo DiCaprio's dad, who just gets pissed off at like the slightest thing. And he just like, he gets a phone call and he's just like, oh, who the fuck's calling me in the middle of the night? I can't believe this shit. Like he's just got no temperament. I just find it like, I just find it hilarious, bruv.
Zero decorum.
Right. No decorum. He's uncouth.
Uncouth. That's it.
I was watching
the British thing.
Yeah. I was watching Titanic today, and he's new money, you know? Just came into it.
Talk me through you putting Titanic on the TV on a Sunday.
Right. You know what's mad?
Was this before or after the race?
Before. You know, if you look at my internet history from last night, I don't want to.
I'm going to be honest.
No, it was on... No. I was on a mad one last night of like, all I was watching, I got into a YouTube hole, of like interviews. So I was just watching, I started with Zac Efron interview with Jimmy Kimmel. Then I was like, then there was a Tom Hardy video. And then I got into, I think the last thing I watched at 12:10 last night was Leonardo DiCaprio on Making Titanic 1997.
He's freezing.
And then I woke up and I was like, I'm gonna watch Titanic. No, I was watching Titanic.
I remember when you used to spend your weekends drinking. Now you do this. I love this for you. This is
change, man.
Yeah. Growth. Yeah, no, it's definitely different. Yeah, growth. Definitely different.
I love that.
Different pleasures. But nonetheless, grateful for them. So yeah. Also, I don't know how old Leo DiCaprio was in 97, but it's a handsome man. Not gonna lie. I see.
How old are you in 97?
Why he had like. I was 9.
Bloody hell.
I was 9. What's wrong with you? I knew. Well, anyway.
Ask me how old I was in 97.
Stars and Donkeys. No, I'm not going to ask. Stars and Donkeys.
Right, go.
As Tasha went first last time, I'll let you go first this time, Thandie.
Sure.
Star of the day.
Oscar Piastri.
Yeah, nice.
Oscar Piastri. Nice. Big fan.
He deserves it.
Love your content. Love everything you do. If you're as switched on as I think you are, my brother, me and you were gonna rule the papaya army. You heard? Even I don't believe my shit. Even I don't even believe my shit. Me and you, we're gonna rule the Papaya Army. I love that for Oscar Piastri, man. What a guy. That's literally all I have to say about Oscar. Very few words, but such vim and strength in that, you know?
No, I love that. Tasha, do you have a star of the day?
I'm going to also give it to Oscar. I just felt like he did a great job. The race start was amazing. I think that really, for me, did it, because we talked yesterday about his pregnant pause during the driver interview where he, was asked, like, what's tomorrow the start going to look like? And he just was trying so hard to not say, I'm going to choose violence, So very diplomatic. He was like, we're going to play the team game, but really he always intended to do that. So just off of that alone, I just felt like he did a wonderful job today. And just this whole season, I felt like he's had the composure, and I feel like this has been building up. This moment for him to win has been building up. So I'm glad that it actually has happened sooner than later. And good man.
Good man.
And also half a star. I'll give my other half a star to Lewis because he survived Verstappen terrorism twice. So, I just feel like that has to be.
Yeah.
Stole my thunder, but okay, that's fine. Sorry. That's fine.
I can't go 5 minutes without saying that man's name.
No, that's fine. Apparently, Leo DiCaprio was 22. They filmed it in 96. So I can say what I was going to say, which was that he was good milk in 97. That's like vintage milk.
I could have said that anyway. In case he was young. Yeah. I get it.
Do you know what I mean? I had to confirm.
Yeah. That's the smart.
I couldn't remember which one it was. Was it Romeo and Juliet? Romeo and Juliet or Titanic? One of them, you can't say that, but one of them you can.
Right.
Titanic, good milk. Kate Winslet, by the way. Incredible milk. Oh my God.
And that is good milk. I'm not gonna lie. That's good milk.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
good
that's Cravendale.
Milk
for the British people who know, that's Cravendale. It's gonna last, That's the only milk I drink. I'm gonna go dairy. Cravendale. Full fat. So gross. Yo Valley type thing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Yo Valley.
Yo Valley.
I don't know. Yo Valley.
The Valley.
Brands, can't believe we're getting a shout out right now.
These are all milk brands.
If you want to market your milk, just get Kate Winslet fucking on the Titanic. I feel like I'm queen of the world. Drinking full fat blue milk. I'm telling you now, that's money. What a woman. Fuck me. Anyway, my star today is Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton, the man that you are. I think it's retribution for the fact that 3 years ago again in Hungary, we had one of the most iconic start procedures where he was on his own on the grid. He had to fight his way through the field, and he came a cropper because Fernando Alonso would not move out of the way. And I watched that race and I was like, that is the most frustrating race I've ever watched. So to be able to dish that type of defensive performance out with tyres which had, I think it was a 4 or 5 lap delta on the first stint. I think it was a 9 lap delta on that Red Bull car, which was clearly quicker in the straights and quicker in the last sector, which allowed him to close up to within 0.6 of a second before getting DRS down a start-finish straight, which is 500 meters or so. For him to be able to keep Verstappen behind consistently on those tyres, hard tyres, by the way. Max was on medium tyres in that last stint, so grippier tyres with a delta. I think it's not being spoken about enough just how good a performance that was. And it's just showing yet again, no, he didn't get the win, but at the start, he could have been up in second if it wasn't for Verstappen running him out of the road, which is fine, whatever. But him comfortably being in third place, qualifying where he did, we saw where his teammate was, we saw what his teammate did. He's got it. Look, every season people are like, oh, Lewis has started slow, don't know what Lewis is doing here. And then what does he do? He starts to turn it on and Ferrari I can't wait for him to go to Ferrari, man, because I just think if he has an environment where he's confident and they're able to build a car which is anything near to what he desires, he's still driving a shit heap. Let's not get it twisted here. So for him to put in that performance, I just think incredible performance yet again, and just showing that he is still a high quality F1 driver at the age of 39, 18 seasons in a row. This isn't to be sniffed at, and I'm a big fan. Thandie, any words on your man, Lewis Hamilton?
Always proud. Never a chore to even speak his name on this podcast or in real time. What a guy. What a fucking legend. Great outfit this year. I mean, at Hungary this year, by the way. Loved that. Love a little waistcoat movementing. I like that.
Oh, he was really great in the Browns.
Yeah, continue being goated and unproblematic. You
week.
absolute fucking legend. Thank you.
No worries. The pleasure's mine. Never a chore with you, my dear. Should we do donkeys? I feel like there's a few donkeys. I will not go. I guess Tasha, do you want to go first? Who is your donkey of the day?
I'll go first.
I'll go first. I found his radios absolutely sensational today. I'm not going to lie. I laughed for 2 hours. However, Max, the vibe was just not there. Like from the first lap incident onward, I just felt like he was a bottle, like shaken up, like just ready to like take it out on somebody. It ended up being Lewis. And yeah, here we are. But yeah, I just felt like this was just not his race. His attitude was just vile. The cussing out GP every 4 seconds was insane. And yeah, I can't give him more than that today. So he's definitely the donkey because he needs to get his shit together. It's you're leading the driver championship. You've been the champion for the last few years now. Like there's just he needs to be at a higher standard. So jokes aside, like he does need to kind of like calm down and like actually become the mature driver that everybody keeps saying that he is. Because as things do get more competitive, I don't want to see every week a race end because Max decides he's going to just send it, every week and not care if they crash or not. So I think for me, like that's the whole issue with Max is like he kind of just puts that wet blanket on races where it's like it's competitive, it's interesting. And then when he's frustrated that he can't use his racecraft to get around a driver, he then just decides to resort to his usual like tactics. And that's what makes the race is not for me like interesting. And that's why it's hard to say like, oh, he's better than X, Y, and Z, because it's like, how would you know? They can't race fairly, with him. So it's like you can't really rate him off of vibes. And all we can rate him off of is the way that he acts in these races. And then the FIA and everybody kind of conspires to allow him to behave like this. So yeah, donkey. That's just, it is what it is.
100%. Yeah. Thandie, anymore?
Well, to be fair, Max is my donkey. Well, one of my donkeys. So do I lead into that now? Yeah, completely agreeing. Completely agreeing in with Tasha James. Very beautifully put. Max Verstappen, as I said earlier, has bitch mentality. There's no way, so question or be it about it. I don't enjoy hearing him moan on the radio if his voice wasn't so comedic. That's nothing against anybody with a Danish accent. I think it's a great accent. I just think him crying.
The Danish Dutch.
It is Dutch. It's Dutch. He's done. Sorry, guys. Once again, another week of us getting cancelled. I'm so sorry. I tried. Hey. So the three little pigs, are they German? I'm just wondering. Anyway.
Are they German?
Yeah, they are.
Shrek.
I think so, yeah.
Because they eat a lot of pork in Germany, Anyway. Back to Mr. Verstappen. Yeah, man. Doesn't like it when it's him on the receiving side, and I just think accountability lives nowhere near him, so there's that. And then my second donkey goes to Lando Norris for do you know what? For what he did to Piastri, for having to actually be talked down from the ledge, from having to be talked down from a hostage situation, for bringing the SWAT team out, for bringing out everything that you know about freaking every fire departments there, and it's literally just little old Lando who can't fight for fuck. So, I think that was something.
Yeah.
And also for everybody who was under my mentions at 5:00 on the dot, we're supposed to be rising together. This is a Still I Rise nation, and none of us are rising. That was really bad, low vibrational shit that you brought to mind.
Low vibration.
Really low vibration of you guys who have done that to me. And I just think, how are we supposed to grow as a team if you guys are camping outside waiting for me to slip up? That's crazy. We only do that to Nyasha, not me. Don't do that shit to me. And I think you guys are freaking donkeys for even believing that I would give a shit, because I don't. You're also a donkey for believing that I'm a good enough woman to make a decision on what drive to do when really I'm not that good of a woman. So yeah, 3 donkeys in one day.
Wow.
See you again next week. And I will block you this time. Oh, I block so hard, bro. So hard.
Oh my God.
You know what's funny is that I don't know. People think I think people mistake my patience and my affableness and my willingness to kind of put up with some things as a company-wide etiquette.
Mm. Yeah.
and sometimes I see people sometimes people think, oh, Thandie's person of the people and Thandie loves us. You got no fucking clue. But today
you have no
out.
fucking idea. Today you saw it. Don't fucking try me, you internet people. Not me, child. Everybody who knows me not to try me as well.
Oh shit! Oh,
sorry, you had to be the victim of that.
Mm.
Oh, that is hilarious. Right, what I wanted to say was, yeah, read some tweets out. Quickly, my donkey of the day. There's a few of them. I have to, Chris said it as well, have to touch on Alpine. I know we mentioned them in the qualifying show, but their absolute refusal to not put the cars out in Q1 on a drying track, which was getting quicker and quicker, given that their cars were still in the bottom half of the table, is negligence beyond belief. Pierre Gasly, for the second race in a row, I mean, he didn't start the first race, he didn't finish this one. Again, just unacceptable for a works team, and they are just in the mud. And in all honesty, if Esteban Ocon does end up at Haas, that is an incredible move for him, considering where Haas are and where Alpine are. That is a forward move, and all things considered, that he's getting booted. Other donkeys. I mean, yeah, Max Verstappen, Lando Norris, McLaren strategy team. I don't really have too many others to say, so I'm going to leave it there. Let's read out some tweets. I want to read out. I put the link there. You guys seen it, yeah? Guys, thank you so much. There's so many of these. You guys really do go in every time. I'm going to read out just someone who I love and respect. Crystal Brooklyn, at Crystal Brooklyn. Lewis, 200th podium start. Donkey Max crumbling under pressure. Today I said, instead of giving us talking points, just give us your thoughts on Max. And she says, big ass baby with a baby bottle, which I know wasn't the link she was trying to make, but I'm going to make it. Max Verstappen is Homelander. Like, when are we just going to... Max Verstappen is Homelander. His fans are Homelander fans. Like, this guy was made in a lab. I think he's gone home and he's just going to be suckling on someone's titty to, like, placate him. Like, he is Homelander. He can't take criticism. He's everything about him.
Is the lab called Pixar or directly associated with Pixar? Because there's obviously the Sid the Sloth comparison and then the Three Little Pigs comparison. So I'm just wondering.
Say, yeah. I had a little look. They are German. They've got German names.
I thought as much. The pork thing, yeah.
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 Do you have any tweets you want to read out?
Yes, I do. I have Premps81, username My Name Is My Name. And he's put his star as Lewis Hamilton, his donkey as McLaren as a whole, and his description on Max as a head loss. And I fucking love that word, head loss. It's just a British slang, isn't it?
Head loss.
So good. Head loss.
His head.
Is it British slang? I don't know, actually. Is it?
Head loss, yeah. It is, definitely.
Your head's gone.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what we say where I'm from. Your head's gone.
Your head's
gone.
Tasha, do you have a tweet you'd like to read out?
Yes, I'm going to read Acel at Acel Faye. They said, the star is my patience. Donkey is McLaren. And about Max, shit people aren't able to handle it when they get treated in the same manner that they've been treating other people. They changed the rules for him so he could drive like this. He is now learning that means they've changed for everyone.
Okay, very true. I'm going to read out this tweet. So it just reminded me of something. Thandie, don't forget to link your tweet. If you don't know already, my bad. If not. Sorry, this tweet I'm about to read. So, the weird _1, hoping you're not actually weird, although we are all weird. We're all freaks, we're all weirdos. Star is Goat Hamilton for that A1 driving and great defending from Grumpy Verstappen. Donkey, Lando Norris team orders are team orders. It shouldn't be pulling teeth to get you to follow them. Thoughts on Verstappen? Gave me flashbacks to when I was a kid and I didn't get the rest the night before. I didn't get rest the night before, and now I'm grumpy. Crofty was going in on Max Verstappen. Oh my God. It was so funny. He wouldn't leave it as well.
That's all night sim racing.
He sounds like someone who spent all the night sim racing. Like Ted Crevice was like, well, he did win a race last night. Well, the car wasn't as good then. I just think he spent all the night in sim racing. I was like, this guy is, you know what? Crofty's had enough. His Team LH cap is like, he's been peeping through. Like, I get it. You know when they're like British bias? Sometimes I'm like, you know what? If I was a Max Verstappen fan, I'd be pissed off right now. However, these are the same fans that when Lewis was traveling the world doing fashion shows, going to the Met Gala, this, that, and the other, they were like, this guy's being distracted. He shouldn't be doing this, X, Y, Z. So it's not nice when your guy is getting the same treatment and you're trying to pass it off like, oh, well, at least it's sim racing. He's just such a racer. He's dedicated. No, Lando Norris is going better at 11 o'clock. If Lando Norris can stop Twitch streaming like you two, like you can, like I don't want to say grow up because we've all got hobbies. I was up watching Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio interviews from 97. We've all got vices. I'm just saying, 3 o'clock the day before a race where you're not on pole position. Like, I'm just saying. Yeah. Anyway, that was my tweet. Thandie, your last tweet, please.
I am gonna pick. Okay, I'm gonna go for Mr. Akeem's World. Has anyone picked that? No. Okay.
No.
And he has put Lewis as a star, 200 podium. Shout out to Hunter. McLaren. Hannah. McLaren team, as his donkey said, they created that role situation with Norris over the radio and tainted Piastri's win. Yeah. And a little talking point on Max Verstappen. He's put petulant child. He doesn't make accountability for his actions, and he loses his head the moment he doesn't get his way. Wow. Sounds like some of the things my exes have said about me. Very interesting.
Oh. Very interesting. Okay.
Very interesting indeed.
Very
sounds familiar.
Sounds familiar. Shout out my exes.
Tasha.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
going
gonna
to take the
read.
bike.
Right. Mine is going to be, last one is from Francesca at Franny Lucci. She says her star is Lewis, Donkey McLaren strategy team, Max talking point, the way he crumbles under pressure every time without fail is incredible, and GP not taking any shit from him today, calling him childish, perfection.
Childish. He called the man childish. Twice.
He really did.
You're bare childish, you know. You're bare childish.
Do this over the radio, Max.
You know what? Yeah, I wouldn't have it if I was Max. Another man can't call me childish. You know, I'm sorry. Like another man calling me childish.
Childish is like such a fucking violation. Like it's such a vile. You know, you're working so hard to be an adult in this world, and somebody turns around and calls you a fucking child, bro. Called you an embryo. Compared you to an embryo, brother. You said you.
Oh my god!
Open hand slap.
Trust me.
Just disrespectful.
Said you still got your cradle cap
crazy.
on.
Okay.
Work on keeping your head up. Anyway, sorry.
Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this episode as much as we've managed to record it. We had a ball. Thandie, quickly, some news came out this week that Kevin Magnussen would not be renewing his contract at Haas. I just wanted to know if you had any words on that whatsoever.
When's the hair care coming out? When's the... Do you know what? No, actually, I would actually like to have a moment of silence for every single piece of metal that's ever been in contact with Kevin Magnussen. You are a victim. When they start the trial, I hope you put your stories forward, your trauma stories. I hope they give you rights. I hope they hear out your stories. # surviving Kevin Magnussen. And you know what? If any of the victims would like to come forward, whether you be scrap metal, whether you be a bumper, whether you be a wheel, please, my line is open to talk to you. And so is the Quick Stop line. Thank you very much.
Oh my god, you know what? I'll give you the sincere clapping because it's not a joke. We're serious.
You weird, buddy. What did you think of that one? Thanks.
Anyway, guys, we've got to go. Thank you for listening. Thank you to our guest, Tasha James. Tasha and I will be back on Saturday. And then obviously we'll have the post Spa Grand Prix review, which I'm looking forward to. Then we've got the summer break, and then we've got Zandvoort, which is on Carnival weekend. So Thandie and I will need to discuss what is going on with that. My least favourite podcasting weekend of the year. I wish I could just not podcast. But we will be back. I'm so happy to be back for you guys. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the messages. We have really grown on all kind of platforms, and it's really cool to see you guys loving the content, interacting with the content. Even if you don't like the content, thank you for listening and putting forward your points of view. We do appreciate it, and I love talking to you guys in the comments. So please get your comments in and let's discuss what was a hilarious race. But until next time, remember, no matter what life throws at you,
keep it on the black stuff.
Until then, take care.
1
Goodbye.
and 2 and 3.
You Keep it on the like stuff.
Look, mate, if you've got this far, clearly you like what we do. So here's a link to subscribe to the Quickstop F1 family. Give that a click. And here's another link to some more cool on our channel. Sorry, cool stuff. And remember, no matter what happens, keep it on the black stuff. Click the stuff. Click the links. Click the links. Click the links. There. They're there.